Welcome to the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. I am your host, Stacey Geisel, self-mastery coach and mentor. The mission of Evolve Beyond Limits is simple. Fall in love with your life and change the world in the process. And each episode of this podcast is dedicated to helping you do just that. It's designed to bring you one step closer to an aha moment that could completely transform your life so that you can keep evolving into your fullest potential. The reality is how you show up in the world matters, and I don't want you to waste another second living a life that doesn't light your soul on fire. So let's have some fun. Welcome back to the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast. I am your host, Stacey Geisel, and this next series is so exciting. We are going to be diving into human design. So what the heck is human design? Some people have heard of it. Not that many people have. A lot of people have an idea of what their human design is, but they don't exactly know how to use it. So we're going to dive into a lot of that in this next series. So human design at its core is a powerful self-discovery tool. So it is a combination of ancient and modern sciences. It's pulling together everything from astrology to quantum physics into one system. And it was actually created in 1987. And when it was originally brought to life, it was brought to life for parents. It was brought to life so that parents could actually help their children. Because if we could understand as kids what our unique blueprint is, what we are here to do, what our purpose is, how we are meant to function, then it would, one, give parents our parents are always looking for a clue, right? They're always looking for the book, the playbook on how do you raise your kids. And this would give that. But also when you think about the children, they wouldn't actually have to go back after 10, 20, 30, 40 years and pretty much unlearn everything that they were taught to believe about themselves. And that's why human design is so powerful. That's why it was brought to the planet, was really to be able to help parents raise their kids and raise them according to their unique design, not just because what most of us are doing is we are just helping people, and parents are going to parent you based on their own beliefs and what works best for them. And that's not always what works best for the children. So this gives parents and kids, like, having this kind of information opens up this next generation to tons of opportunity and honestly massive personal and worldly transformation if we are able to tap into this. Now, this is not just for kids, because we have this system, we can actually, at any point in our life, human design is going to help you understand who you are at your core. So this is not about who you think you are. This is not who you think you're supposed to be. This is not who you were taught to be, but who you truly are. And human design is really here to help understand the unique gifts that you bring to the world, understanding what your core values are, where you're most prone to external conditioning. How do you make decisions? How do you know when you're out of alignment in life? What challenges might you experience? And then it gives you this awareness around all of these things so that you can start to work your way through them. It's a beautiful, very fun system. And it can really, I have watched it help people as leaders, as significant others, as parents, as coworkers, as teammates, because the more that we understand ourselves, the easier it truly is to interact with the world around us. And that is what human design is here to help us with. So through helping people with human design, I have witnessed it helping with probably too many things to count, but to name a few of the things that it can really help to transform. It helps to identify your unique gifts and what you have to offer the world, which is something that so many people struggle to see in themselves. And it is quite honestly why I do what I do, is for people to be able to see the gift that they bring to the world and use it to move us forward in some way. Human design can also remove a lot of the confusion that we have about our life, because when we are living not in alignment with who we really are, but we're trying to be somebody that we were taught to be or the person that we think is successful, then we end up feeling very confused and very off of our path. And it's because we are. So, human design helps you see what that path to purpose is and helps remove a lot of that confusion. It improves relationships, not only that relationship with yourself, because it does. Once you can become aware of all of these things, you can learn to love them and you can learn to use them in a way that's very empowering to you and the people around you. But it improves your relationship with your significant other. I've done tons of couple sessions, and the couple sessions are so fun because when we can start to see each other through the eyes of what our gifts are and not take things so personally, it opens up so much communication, so much understanding, compassion, grace for one another. It's just a really, really beautiful thing. It can really help to understand the types of people you need to connect with in order to thrive in your life, in your business. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. It will help you identify the areas in your life that need to be shifted or when you're just where you're completely out of alignment. It helps you to see the gifts of your design while also making it very evident what potential struggles you will encounter, because we are always going to struggle and where there's going to be challenges that we have to navigate. But if we can see them coming and we can have tools, then it's going to make going through them a hell of a lot easier. So it also allows you to stop comparing yourself to others. And once you can truly start to live your design, which is what I am so passionate about helping people do, it just makes life a hell of a lot more fun. So, those are some of the benefits that come with human design. That's a little bit about what human design is, but human design is categorized into 5 main types. And this is what I usually see people have. They know what their human design type is. And they often don't know a whole lot beyond that. But just knowing your type is powerful because each type is here for a specific purpose. Now, how each individual will carry out that purpose is going to depend on a lot of other things within the chart. It's going to depend on their defined and undefined pieces of their chart, their profile, the incarnation cross they came in on, as well as how well they are able to follow their strategy and their decision making authority. So, today, I'm just going to give you a glimmer into the 5 types. And then over this series, I'm going to go into more depth on the different types. So, the first type is generators, which make up about 35% of the population. And then there's the manifesting generator, which is the second type that also make up about 35% of the population. So, all in all, the generators and manifesting generators make up 70% of the population, and they are here to find work that fulfills them and to offer that to humanity. When you think about this, I want you to big picture this for a second with me, because if 70% of the population is here to find work that fulfills them and offer that to humanity, in your head, I want you to think of the percentage of people who you actually think are fulfilled by the work they do. Usually the answer I get is anywhere from 3 to 15%. And I honestly don't know what the answer is, but I know it's low. And if only 3 to 15% of the world loves and is super fulfilled by the work they do, then we have a greater understanding of why our world is in the dire situation that it is, because so many people are here simply to work and to do work that they love. And if they aren't doing that, then they're going to be very stressed out, have very low energy. They're going to be frustrated. They're going to be angry. They're going to be bitter. There's so many different things that can pop up. That's why it's so important to understand your design, because if you are one of these two and you don't love the work you do, then of course you don't have the energy when you get home to pour into your relationships and your kids and your health and well-being. So it's an important piece of the puzzle. Manifestors is the next type. They make up about 8% of the population, and they are here to initiate action and impact people and situations to keep them moving forward. Most of us in our life, we have been taught to act like a manifester. So we are taught to take, if we want something done, we initiate it and we take action. But that's actually only the way that about 8% of the population is here to work. And I'll go into more of why that is in future episodes. But then the fourth type is the projector. Projectors make up about 21% of the population, and they are here to be the wise guides of the world. They are going to be the new generation of leaders because they lead through guidance, not force. These are amazing people full of wisdom, ready to share. So I can't wait for you to hear more about the projector. And the last type and the most rare is the reflector. Reflectors are about 1% of the population. I actually have a reflector niece, and they are here to mirror the health and well-being or the lack of health and well-being of their environment back to us. So they are the mirrors of the world, hence the word reflector. They're always showing us how healthy or unhealthy our environment is. So, like I said, over this next series, I'm going to be going into some of the specific gifts and challenges of each type, introducing to you the different strategies and how to best interact with the world, and then providing a few tools that's going to help you begin to live your design. Because the thing with human design is it's fascinating to learn about it, but if you're not going to experiment with it, then you're not going to see the benefits that it can possibly have in your life. So once you find your design, which you can actually do by just going to my website, www.stacygeisel.com. We will link that up in the show notes. You just have to put in your birth date, your birth time, and the city and state that you were born. The birth time is very important. So just make sure that you can check your birth certificate if you don't know. Most people call their moms who usually know. So do whatever you need to do to get that birth time. But you can just go straight to the website. You can get your chart and it's going to tell you your type so that you know exactly what episode to tune into. You can check the charts for the people around you because it can be really cool to know about them too, the people you're interacting with every single day. So make sure you get all of that in there. And then once you look up your design, shoot it over to me through a DM and Instagram so that we can celebrate what makes you truly unique together, because I love hearing about people's types and just what they're learning and how it's impacting their life. So thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Evolve Beyond Limits podcast, and I will see you on the next episode.